In the Bible, light is contrasted with darkness as much as righteousness is with sinfulness or faith is with fear. Sometimes to understand a thing more clearly, it's good to see its opposite. Jesus says in John 8:12, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but have the light of life." It's a bold statement, and the Pharisees were taken back by this proclamation. "I am the light of the world," Jesus says, and he said it on more than one occasion. What does he mean by it? It's a metaphor that can mean a lot of different things. It can mean revelation. Jesus is the revelation of God to humanity. In the upper room, the night before his arrest, Philip asked Jesus to show them the Father. Jesus said to an unsure Philip, "Don't you know me, Philip, even after I have been among you for such a long time?" Don't let Jesus ask that question of you. Instead, we can tell Jesus, "I know you, Lord, because of the light you brought into my life, and I trust you. My days are in your hands." We can say that because when we walk with Christ, we come to know him and we experience his providence and his presence for ourselves. Light can also mean redemption, and the light Jesus brings is nothing less than the redemption for all mankind. And when each of us says yes to this act of redemption, this light becomes our salvation. 1 Peter 2:9 says, "We are God's special possession, calling us out of darkness into his wonderful light." We will get to revel in this light for eternity. Light can also mean understanding God's glory. 2 Corinthians says, "God made his light shine in our hearts to give us the light of the knowledge of God's glory." Think of it, God has revealed to us the very nature of his glory. Moses only got a glimpse of God's glory as it passed by him. But because of the cross, God invites each of us to come closer to his glory, to see it, to understand it, and even to partake of it. The nature of God's glory turns out to be the surprise of a lifetime. Light can also mean understanding our purpose for living. Romans 12 says, "You will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." His light will light the path ahead of us as we walk with him. When we walk with Christ, sometimes we have a tendency to run ahead or fall back behind. The light that he gives us is usually just enough light to see the next few steps ahead of us. Jesus does this deliberately. He wants us to walk side by side with him. In Genesis 1, the Godhead announced, "Let there be light," and it was so. Creation didn't cost God anything, but to bring about our redemption, that cost God everything. The light of redemption comes by a bloody cross. This Christmas season, let us strive to reflect Christ's light to a dark and hurting and scared world.